Hi, it's Brendan from DecoNetwork. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to learn more about DecoNetwork and for giving us this opportunity to share some of the information and insights we have that might actually help you shape your own business journey. We like to start off by asking you to ask yourself, who is my customer? I know that might sound like a strange question, but we speak to a lot of different people and we often get a lot of different answers to this question. And sometimes the answers don't quite align with the opportunities that are out there for your business. So if we look at our industry today, we can pretty much divide it up into two segments. First is the B2C segment. This is typically defined by a consumer doing business with you to buy a product for their own personal use. So a good example might be someone buying a mouse mat with a sublimation print of their family or a family pet, or someone getting some buck shirts or some shirts for their special event. So it's a business doing business with a consumer. In today's marketplace and in our industry, B2C only accounts for about 3% of the revenue that flows through our industry. Now, let's be generous and give that a little bit more wiggle room and say it might be up to 10% on a good day. But the other challenge with this is this segment is also an incredibly crowded segment with a lot of big players with big pockets. Take Zazzle, for example. They've invested in over $46 million in their online business and business for this space. Cafe Press had over $153 million in sales in 2014. And Teesprings had invested over $56 million in their online business and in their B2C space. So we like to remind our customers to not forget about the other larger segment of our business, the B2B, which accounts for 90% of the revenue through our business, but really it's 97. But again, we're giving that little bit of extra wiggle room with the 10% of the B2C. So what is B2B? Well, B2B is dealing with your local schools in uniforms and gear, dealing with volunteer and social groups, dealing with organizations and charities, sports groups, staff uniforms, your local church and organizations. It's where an organization or a business does business with you. That's B2B. And that's what accounts for 90% of the revenue in our industry today. So how does DecoNetwork help you with your business and in particular with B2B? Well, first of all, we're a cloud-based solution. What that means is you don't have to install any software. We work on your browser on any computer at all, so whether you use a PC or a Mac, it doesn't matter. You can use this on your iPhone, on your iPad, on your Android tablet. But most important of all, it means your business is accessible from anywhere at any time. So you quite literally could be on the beach in Hawaii right now, and you've got full access to everything that's happening in your decoration business. I'd now like to talk about the main segments of our solution DecoNetwork and how they can really benefit you. We'll start off with quotes and orders. With DecoNetwork, we give you a powerful quote and order tool called Business Hub, where you and your team can log in again from anywhere at any time and generate visually stunning quotes for your clients. Your clients can view those quotes, approve those quotes, and even pay for those quotes live on your website. Next, we make it really simple for you to deal with your vendors. No longer when you buy products or purchase products from your suppliers, do you have to log on to their website and manually enter all those orders all over again. With DecoNetwork Business Hub, we've created live purchasing with your suppliers. So all the products that are coming in off your website and all the products that are coming in from your sales team out there making all these orders and quotes are consolidated into a single purchase order. And we electronically send that directly to your supplier for you. So again, you're not having to log onto your website or log onto their website and enter all those orders again. That means no longer will you select the wrong style, the wrong color, or the wrong size and delay that order for your customer. Next, we have artwork approvals. With DecoNetwork, You can guarantee that your clients will always see the artwork and approve the artwork before it goes through to production. So now you're shifting the responsibility for spelling errors and color mistakes to the person who knows best, and that's your client. They'll guarantee that artwork is correct before it moves through to production, and you will always have their seal of approval. Next, we have production management. So again, from anywhere at any time, you can log into your DecoNetwork Business Hub, and you can see all your orders that are scheduled for production. You can assign them to a different operator or machine, and you can see exactly what the workload you currently have in your business. Oh, and by the way, we also throw in a website, so you can brand your own business with your own look and feel that you have, and your customers can go online and purchase and buy at any time. And of course, we have an online designer, so your client can select a product, upload their artwork to create their personal gifts, and purchase them at any time. So again, with DecoNetwork, we've not just focused on that small 3%, which is great for B2C, we focused on your entire business to ensure that you can also take advantage of that larger 90% B2B market with our quotes and orders, live vendor purchasing, artwork approvals, production management, and of course a website and online designer. So let's take a look and see exactly how DecoNetwork Business Hub can help you with your entire business. I'd like to start off by browsing to our demo website at demo.deconetwork.com. You can browse here at any time you want and see our demo site. Now, we've branded our website in a particular way. Of course, you've got full control over the look and feel of your own website, and you can brand it up in any way you like. But on our website, we first of all have our blank products. And as you can see, DecoNetwork is not just about t-shirts or apparel. With DecoNetwork Business Hub, you can do t-shirts, mouse mats, mugs, buttons, iPhones, cakes. It doesn't really matter. In DecoNetwork, we support DTG printing, sublimation, screen printing, embroidery, transfer, and rhinestone templates. You can also have what we call pre-decorated products. Now that's where you've combined a blank product with an existing design, or perhaps a design you think your customers might like to buy. So that's great to use for special event shirts like Halloween or birthday shirts or Bucks Night shirts, where you pre-designed that product and your customers simply have to choose it, select their sizes, check out and buy. And finally, you can make rich dynamic templates available on your website. So let's say your customers aren't really the graphic design type person. They can pick one of these existing templates and swap out the words for their own use. So for example, Flintridge could simply be DecoNetwork, and they can build their own DecoNetwork football shirts that they want to buy for their DecoNetwork football team. Now again, this is how we've branded our website, but with DecoNetwork again, we give you full control over the CSS and HTML, so you can make your website look any way you like. Now if you browse through to our marketing website at deconetwork.com and select on Our Clients, you'll get a showcase of some of the awesome websites that DecoNetwork clients have made. Now, these are clients who have given us permission to showcase their website. And as you can see, each of these websites look completely different because each of these websites have been able to brand themselves to appeal to their target market. And that's really important because we have tens of thousands of websites on DecoNetwork, and you don't want to look like all those other websites out there. But what I'd really like to focus on is an area of our solution, DecoNetwork, that I feel is the most important of all, and that is Business Hub. Now, Business Hub is quite literally a solution that will eliminate so many processes that you're currently doing in your business. Things that you do and just do out of habit or do out of the sake of you've always done it that way. But we've been able to identify a way and design a way that will cut out so much time, so many errors out of your business that you'd wish you had DecoNetwork Business Hub from the very start. Now in DecoNetwork Business Hub, you have complete access to your entire business, from quotes and orders, managing your campaigns, managing your purchasing with your suppliers, managing your artwork approvals with your clients, managing your production, and shipping. But I like to start off with a simple example of how simple it is to build a quote in DecoNetwork Business Hub. I'll select Quotes, and then I'll select Add a New Quote. Now just imagine I've received an email from a customer. He said, "Hi, I'd like to get a quote for 25 red t-shirts with this artwork attached on the front." Okay, so the first thing I'll do is I'll find the customer in my system. I'll search for his email address to see if he does exist, and he does. If he didn't exist, I could simply start a brand new customer record over here. Now the next step is to choose the product for this quote. Now the customer didn't tell me exactly what he wanted, so I'll just add a new product. And he said he just wanted a t-shirt, so I'll quote him for the Gildan 2000 t-shirt, because that's pretty popular. Now the great advantage of DecoNetwork is we've partnered with the major industry suppliers and we've incorporated their product catalogs in DecoNetwork. But best of all, our product catalogs come with front view, back view, and in most cases with sleeve views as well. So we've got products from Sama, Alpha Broda, Bodak and Rhodes, S&S Activewear, and a whole stack more. Over 14,000 products ready to use in DecoNetwork. Now my customer asks for a red t-shirt, so I need to change the color from gold to red. And if you remember, the email only said that he wants 25 shirts. He didn't actually tell me what sizes he wanted. So I can't give an exact size. I'll just put in 25 unspecified sizes for now. And remember that, and we'll come back to that in just a moment. I'll click OK. Now the next step is to add the customer's design that he sent me. So I'd save it to a folder on my computer. I'd launch the designer, and I'd click on Add Design. And in this case, I'll do D2G printing because it's only 25. And I will browse through and choose that artwork and upload that. Click OK and continue. Now, as you've just seen, I've not had to open up CorelDRAW. I've not had to upload Adobe Illustrator. You no longer have to use complicated graphic software, or more importantly, you no longer have to take up the time of your graphic design team to build a simple mock-up and concept for your customer. Your sales team can do that directly in DecoNetwork Business Hub with this really simple, easy to use online designer. They can place that logo anywhere you want within the boundaries that you've defined on your products and create that concept for your clients. So that's done. I click Done on my designer, and quite literally, that's it. My quote is finished. Now you've probably also noticed not once did I have to upload a calculator or open Excel to work out my prices. Because in DecoNetwork, you can enter all your printing prices and all your decoration prices in the back end. So your customers and your team don't have to constantly have to go through and recalculate those prices in Excel or any other tool. And DecoNetwork even knows that this print is on a red garment and we have to charge for a white base. So it knows that and it's added that to the quote automatically. So again, that's another thing my sales team don't have to remember. At this stage, all I really have to do is save and email that quote directly to my client. Now, the next advantage that we give you is no longer do your sales team have to retype that please approve my quote email over and over and over again. We give you a template that you can completely customize so you can create the perfect please approve my quote email, which would save your sales team opening that and creating that email over and over again. So now I just click OK, and that email goes directly off to my customer. So now I'm going to move over to my other browser. And now I'm acting as your customer. I open up my Gmail, I refresh my inbox, and here is that exact email that your customer service team just sent to your customer. And it's the exact same template that you saw in DecoNetwork. But most important of all, it's got a direct link to view your quote on your website so your customer can visualize exactly what your sales team has created. But guess what? They've had to do pretty much nothing to get this professional, concise, and clean layout for a quote. You can see your details, your client's details, the product details, including description, the color. Now, I don't have the size and quantity at this stage because all I knew that there was 25, but again, we'll come back to that. And of course, all the price. But most important of all, we give a visual representation of exactly what your sales team is quoting for. There is absolutely no mistake that you're quoting for a red t-shirt with an artwork on the front. It's not a blue t-shirt with the artwork on the back. So your customer knows exactly what you're quoting for. We also automatically include the product description and details from your supplier's catalog. And we also automatically include the size chart. So no longer does your customer have to call up and say, hey, how big is the medium? Do you think that'll fit me? They've got all that information themselves and they can make that buying decision with themselves. Now we also include the artwork and all the decoration details such as the size, where it's going to be, and what decoration process you're going to use to create that artwork on the garment. So really your customer has all the information they need to make a buying decision. And in the end, all they really have is three choices to make. They can either approve the quote, reject the quote, or ask a question live on your website. Now imagine your customer doesn't want to approve the quote until they're guaranteed they're going to get it by the end of the week. So what they can do is ask that question live on your website. We'll put ask a question and say, hey, looks great, but I need it by the end of the week. It's urgent. Because as you know, every single customer request is always urgent. So I'll send that through. The great thing about that is it logs it on the quote. But if I quickly jump across to my other window, ping, up pops live is a notification for your sales team. Hey, it looks great, but I need it by the end of the week. It's urgent. So now your sales rep has been prompted with a question and they can get in contact with production and say, hey, look, it's only 25 shirts. Can we do that by the end of the week for the customer? And the production manager says, yes, but I have to get that order in today or we'll run out of time. So now I need to tell the customer. So I'll click over here and I'll add a note to the customer and I'll say, yes, we can do it by the end of the week, but you must approve the quote today. So now I'm putting urgency back onto the customer and I click OK. But as you've noticed, not once have I had to open up Outlook to send an email to my customer. I'm not having to use multiple tools and look for correspondence in multiple places. It's all been logged in the one screen on DecoNetwork Business Hub. So you and your entire team will always know the entire correspondence between your company and with your clients, and it's all accessible in the one spot. But on the other side, your customer's iPhone goes buzz, 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 and they click on their inbox, and in comes that exact same reply that your sales team just sent them from Business Hub. Dear Jack Smith, yes, we can do it by the end of the week, but you must approve the quote today. So fantastic. The customer's happy. They're ready to go on your website and approve that quote. So they click back on the link. They go back to your site. They've got all the quote details. They've got the full history and correspondence related to that quote. So now they're ready to approve the quote. They click on approve, then approve. But remember, we didn't know the exact sizes that your customer wanted. All we knew is that they wanted 25 shirts, not the actual sizes. So now we say, dear customer, we don't know what you want, but here's the size chart. Tell us what sizes you would like. So we'll take 5 small, 5 medium, 5 large, 5 extra large. Now I'm deliberately going to choose a larger size. Why? Because as you know, you get charged more for those larger sizes from your supplier. So you want to pass on that cost to your customer. Well, DecoNetwork knows that. We know that information from your suppliers, and we know that they charge you a little bit more. So instead of wasting your sales rep's time to go back and make such a simple change to a quote, when they press continue, we will live update that quote for you with the different prices to compensate for those larger sizes. So now it's a little bit more and the customer reviews that quote. They've got the new price and the details and they confirm that change. And the final step is for them to pay for that quote or that order on your website. Now, it's up to you whether you'd like your customers to pay the whole lot up front or maybe 30% up front and the rest on 30 days. You've got full control of the terms and conditions for your DecoNetwork Business Hub. And you've also got full control over the payment methods you allow on your own DecoNetwork website. So be it credit card, direct deposit, check, cash, PayPal, that's up to you. I'll choose credit card, I'll type in the details, and I'll click Pay Now. But again, if I switch back to my DecoNetwork Business Hub, and like your sales team, they're constantly being updated all the time. They're getting live pings to tell them that the artwork's been approved. They've got a note from the customer. The quote's been approved. And ping ping, the customer just paid for that order on your website. So your sales team aren't having to call different departments and chase down all that information. They're getting live fed all that information at all times so they can focus on what they're good at doing, and that is selling your products. With DecoNetwork Business Hub, we've eliminated a lot of processes and steps out of your business. With DecoNetwork Business Hub, you don't have to look up Excel price lists anymore. All your price lists are built into DecoNetwork. So at any point in time, you can easily calculate your prices, and it will always be consistent amongst all your team. We've also eliminated the use of complicated graphic software to make concepts. Your sales team don't have to be graphic designers, but they can still create visually stunning quotes and concepts for your clients. We've also completely eliminated the need to manually retype those please approve my quote emails over and over again. In fact, all the emails are automated. From your quote to your orders to your shipping notes, they're all automated through DecoNetwork Business Hub, and you have full control over the look and feel of those templates. We've also eliminated the manual need to send out artwork approvals. It's all done through the system, so your customer can see those artwork approvals online and make sure they've been approved before they go through to production. We've also made it easy for you to get paid from your customers. As you saw, DecoNetwork will prompt your customers to pay for those orders and quotes on your website. Now, another great benefit that we have, which our customers tell us saves them a lot of time, is how easy it is in DecoNetwork to follow up with previous orders from a client. So we've spoken to clients and say, look, one of the biggest costs is when a client comes back and says, I'd like to reorder that job again. It can take them up to 25 minutes to go through their business and try to find all those order details. Chase down that paper order. Look for the artwork in folders. Well, with DecoNetwork, it's really as simple as clicking on orders, clicking on add a new order, again, searching for the customer's details, could be their email address or phone number or whatever you have, and then simply clicking on add previously ordered product. It pops up with a complete list of every job you've ever done for that customer, including the product details, the sizes, the order date, the order number, the quantity. And you can even see a visual representation of each of those jobs that you've previously done for your client. So your client can say, yeah, that's the one I want. So I check on that. I click OK. And all you really have to ask your customer is, are you getting the same sizes? He says, no, I want 15 small, 20 large, 5 large, and 3 extra large. And I click OK. And I click Save Order. And literally, within a minute, that job will go through to production, ready for your production team to download, get access to that order, and produce it for your clients. But we also make it really simple for you to know as a business owner, manager, or even team member in your organization to know what's going on with all your orders without running around all your factory asking questions all day long. And we do that through a really simple and amazing screen called Overview. On this single screen, you can see the current process and status of all your orders in DecoNetwork, whether they've been paid by the client, whether you've ordered the stock with your supplier, whether you've received the stock from your supplier, whether the artwork is approved, whether that job's gone through to production, and whether it's finally been shipped through to your customer. And you can break that down and see that down on a line item as well. So again, you could literally be laying on the beach in Hawaii and see every single thing that's happening with your entire business on one single screen. So as you can see, We really do offer a lot of benefits in DecoNetwork, and we really do eliminate a lot of the processes that you currently do and cost you money in your business. In fact, in a recent survey to our clients, DecoNetwork clients tell us their cost of managing quotes and orders has been reduced by 70% when using DecoNetwork. That's by eliminating a lot of those processes, automating a lot of the correspondence to your clients. But best of all, in the end, you're not cutting any corners. And in fact, from your client's perspective, you're delivering a faster and more professional engagement with your client. Well, believe it or not, with DecoNetwork, it's only going to cost you as low as $2.92 per day. That's actually cheaper than a cafe latte you probably had this morning driving into your office. And that's based on the business $89 plan. So at DecoNetwork, we've really strived to design a solution by people from the industry to solve real problems we face in the industry. And again, with DecoNetwork, our aim is to build a solution that caters for your entire business, not just that small 3% B2C, but also that broader and larger B2B market, from your quotes and orders, vendor purchasing, artwork approval, production management, and of course, with a website and online designer. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to welcoming you to the DecoNetwork family.